All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to go over the MLB for Thursday, July the 31st, the last day of the month, and we'll start with the Rays versus the Yankees. Now, the favorites for this game, Tampa Bay has been the favorite, but New York has been teetering around that, and you'll see here in a moment. It's basically a pick'em game with the with the now Yankees, which were at first an underdog, are now turning toward the favorite all of a sudden. And their cost has increased significantly here on the spread, but we'll go over that in a moment. Minus 102 for on the money line for the Rays, minus 116 for the Yankees, minus 1.5 for the Rays at plus 152, plus 1.5 and minus 184 for the Yankees. Over unders at 8.5 and minus 115 cost for the over, minus 105 cost for the under at 8.5. And let's see where the splits are going in this one. We're going to focus on the Yankees minus 184 run line. But let's go over the money line splits. 47% of the betting going in favor of the Rays, 55% of the money going in their favor, 53% of the betting going in the Yankees' favor, and 45% of the money going to the Yankees on the money line. Spread looks like this: 37% of the betting going with the Rays, 60% of the money going with the Rays, 63% of the betting going with the Yankees, 40% of the money going with the Yankees. Over under at 8.5, 84% going over, 77% of the money going over, 16% going under on the betting, 23% going under on the money under 8.5. But as you can see, the 40%, that is a high enough percentage for the Yankees to, they're getting 40% of the money here and 63% of the bets. That is a super high percentage. The Yankees look safe and decent there, but watch how they increase here. As long as they continue to increase, the Yankees look decent across the board. And with this over under, a lot of people expecting that to be a higher scoring game. I would only fade the public in that instance. And they're getting 77% of the money, 84% of the betting currently. As long as the under stays beneath that, I'll say about 38-ish percentile, 40-ish percentile, you're good here with the under, and fade the public as it currently stands. All right, Atlanta versus Cincinnati, plus 132 for the Braves, minus 156 for the Reds, plus 1.5 at minus 142 for the underdog Braves, minus 1.5 at plus 118 for the favorite Reds on the run line. Over under is at 9.5, plus 100 going over on the cost, minus 122 going under on its cost. That's a relatively, well, the highest of the day, 9.5. Let's see. 28% of the betting going in favor of the Braves, 21% of the money on the money line, 72% to 79%. So Cincinnati's dominating the money and the betting on the money line. They're dominating even more on the spread, 89 and 91%, as you can see here. All right. Now that looks decent. That looks decent, but I'm eyeing this minus 142. If you see this not dip below a certain, let's say around minus 135, minus 132, minus 130, as long as it stays above that, the Braves look decent there. But the threat with this, for this to be for the Reds to get the run line, that is watch that plus 118 in this instance. We already know what this is going to happen. If this continues to increase, that's easy. But this plus 118, if you see that, they're getting 91% of the money in that instance. Not a relatively high number, plus 118. They can dish that out and dish this out as well. This minus 156, considering it's getting 79% of the money. That's why I say it looks good for the Reds to win across the board, only as it currently stands. Over under is pretty much even, 51% to 46% on the over, 49% to 54% on the under. But I would challenge that 9.5 and go over that in this instance, since that's so high. If you see that total go to 10, I would challenge it even more. You see it going beneath this 8.5, somewhere there, challenge the under as long as it keeps decreasing. But let's go to the next one. All right, Texas versus Seattle. All right, plus 140 for the Rangers on the money line, minus 166 for Seattle at home on the money line, plus 1.5 at minus 160 cost for the Rangers, minus 1.5 at plus 132 cost for the Mariners. Over-unders at 7.5 at minus 110 cost even. Now let's see where the splits are going. Let me scroll down here. All right. 42% in favor of Texas at home on the betting, on the money line, on the road, that is. 63% of the money going with Texas. 37% of the money going with Seattle. 58% of the betting going with Seattle. So people putting heavy money on the Rangers, looking to cash this out, this plus 140. Look out for that. 30% going of the betting in favor of the Rangers run line. 32% of the money going with them. So 70 and 68 for Seattle on the run line. Very high percentage at this plus 132. People looking to cash this out and cash that out. And obviously that cannot be done because you can't pick a favorite on the spread and pick a dog on the money line. You can't do that. Over unders at 7.5. I'm going to tell you right now, they're getting 75% of the money going over 66%. More people, when the bookies go in, they're probably going to pick, the sharps go in, that is. They're going to pick more, the higher 75% here. I would challenge that 7.5. And I would go under that. That's 7.5. But now, with this being 166 and minus 160, this could be the case where Texas could take this here. 32% is high enough at minus 160 for the bookies to make a ton of money. In this, they're getting 63% of the money. They would lose all of that. And plus, they will be gaining this 37%. They could win. The bookies could win all around if this happens. They could win all the way around. But yeah, look out for that. My picks will be on the Patreon. Link is in the description and in the video. Pray every day. I've been Scott. And yeah, have a good day.